I think my computer.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what I'm gonna do, because my computer storage is terrible, so I'm gonna record
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna
Mm.
put it on YouTube on a private link that only you will have,
Okay.
and then you can just see it from there. Yeah,
Okay. Yes, please. Thank
cool.
you.
All right, let me put a note for myself to do that. Um, YouTube. Okay. So yeah, so we were talking about timescales for yourself for a holiday or a break or travel, and
Mm.
what that looks like in relation to timescales for the recruitment. And I guess so. I started with how quickly they responded to you,
Mm.
because normally it can take. I would have assumed, especially for a grad role, it might take a month from start to finish.
Yeah.
But what you've just gone through shows that actually it might be so much quicker.
But I feel like that's why I put so much pressure on that situation because like I know that this is an anomaly. Like I know that this doesn't always happen. So
Yeah.
I really pushed. I gave the hours. I put the time in. I really, but it kind of backfired in a way because I didn't give myself time to rest and really just practice my portfolio. But that's the learning curve.
Yeah.
So even though I was trying to rush it, at the same time in future I need to just take time and rather it's my best and rush it and it's doesn't go well, if that makes sense. But with the timeline with the traveling,
Yeah. Can I just pause you there for a
yeah,
moment?
no problem.
Also, you've got to consider that they want you. Yeah. No, no, no,
Yeah,
no, no. It's a
yeah,
fact. If someone calls
mm,
you for interview, like it's because they want you and they want to know more.
yeah,
And if in future you feel that 2 days after your submission is not enough time to prepare, you could say, "Hey, I really want to have an interview. I'm available next week."
okay,
Right. And that may sound like, oh, am I allowed to do that? Or is that appropriate? Because, they're the ones offering me the job. But again, you matter in all of this. And
mm,
so for me, I think people would freeze in an interview mostly for three reasons. Number one, they're exhausted and they're just not functioning because they're tired. Number
mm,
two, nerves are just insane. Yeah, they just can't handle the nerves of being in that environment. Or number three, was because they're actually in the wrong interview,
interesting. Yeah,
right? And
mm,
so the first two, the last two are out, but it's actually because you were just exhausted,
yeah.
right? And so sometimes we've also got to consider, well, if they wanted me this badly, they will wait for me.
The waited is true. That's true. And I would have been able to give more in that moment. That's true.
Yeah, because you want to give yourself, and also you're giving yourself not just for the interview, you should be giving yourself the best all the time because you deserve sleep
Mm. It's true.
and rest and to
Yeah.
feel like not to have to feel like a zombie because
Mm.
they put time pressure on you.
That's true. I need to be. My friend was. I was saying it to my friend, and she's saying that I need to be. A, I need to be more selfish, and B, in that situation, you gave in your work. They liked it, and you need to believe in your work. So you were doing it in the sense that you needed them really badly, but you forgot that they also loved your work. That's why they invited you all the way down there.
Yeah.
So I need to act like I'm worth these opportunities. I'm worth because it's just so it was so nice. It was so nice on paper. It was the pay that I wanted.
Mhm.
It was residential, high-end residential. I just put so much pressure, like this is my only opportunity, but in God's grace, our men will get plenty more.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the whole thing, isn't it? It's either you have a scarcity mindset or or almost I want to say like an abundance mindset, right?
Mm,
So scarcity would say, "Oh my gosh, this is the only job out there. If I don't do everything now, I've lost it, and there's never an
yeah,
opportunity."
yeah,
Whereas abundance says, "You know what? It's great that they desire and want me. I I will get to choose if this is the right thing for me or not because there are many opportunities out there."
that's
Yeah.
true.
So
Exactly.
even if they say no, well then it's their loss. It's their loss.
Yeah, and I'm willing to be patient for the right company as well. Exactly.
Absolutely. You know your own all call them boundaries, your own personal spec is really like you know exactly what you want and what you don't want. And
That's,
that's fantastic. And I love that. But also we have to let that work for us
mm,
if it doesn't, work out according to what other people may say.
That's
Yeah,
true. Exactly.
yeah,
That's very true.
yeah. And
Um,
sometimes sometimes what we consider as a rejection is actually, not, you've mentioned faith, and so I also believe sometimes it's just God knowing what's best for us.
mm, yeah, you don't know what would happen.
Yeah. When I
Yeah.
was about, I think when I was about, maybe I was about 27,
Mm,
my personal thing was I've never been to a job interview and not been offered the job.
that's so nice.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was my thing. So I went for a job interview for this operations manager post, and they didn't give me the
Mm,
job. And I was like, what on earth? This never happens. Like, what's gone wrong?
mm,
But by going to the interview, what I didn't know was one of the women on the panel was a manager for the local government where I was working as a temp. So
mm,
when she realizes that, hey, why is my temp staff applying for a job as an operations manager? She
mm,
offered me an opportunity in house, right? The opportunity in house was better paid and pretty much built my career for 10 years. Yeah. Whereas
yeah.
the operations manager post that I thought I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
the funding got cut within 12 months. Yeah. I
Yeah.
couldn't have I couldn't have pictured that would be the outcome, but I do believe when we have a faith, and we commit things to God's hand, He also directs our steps as well. And so I think there has to also an element of, okay, thank you God if it works out. I thank you if it doesn't work out, because you know what's best for me holistically.
It's true. You just never know. That is very true. I agree. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. If not, I'm just gonna keep going. Like, I just, I can't just stop. I'm
No,
just
no,
gonna keep going. But
yeah,
uh,
absolutely.
yeah. Okay.
And do you know how many jobs you applied for
In
already?
general, so I was honestly casually applying. So there
Sorry,
was that was like the only one I really applied for that I went for, and then I got a call from CV Library about the Leamington Buzzard
mm-hmm.
one, but I haven't really sat down and be like, right, this like put a spreadsheet, this one, because I spent so much time focusing on that one
Yeah,
opportunity.
yeah, and that's okay. So you only applied for one job seriously,
Yeah.
and they still, because I was about to say, well, hey, if you think you applied for four jobs and you got one interview, that's great, that's 25%. But what
Yeah.
this is saying is that you applied for one job and
Yeah.
they called you for interview within 2 days. That,
Yeah.
like, I'm not sure if you get how amazing and incredible that is.
Thank you. Only God. Yeah, I put in the hours. I put in the hours. I put in the work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But also it
Yeah.
shows about your portfolio, because obviously you said that in, did you have to send that in before?
Yeah, so it was all over the place. And then I saw the opportunity. So on the Friday through to the Wednesday, I just spent time just doing what I had to do. And then Monday submitted. And then by the end of Monday, they gave me a call for it. So yeah.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
good.
Thank you.
So good. And
Yeah.
so these things are going to be things that I need you to see as concrete facts.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, you were in the vision board workshop. Was that the one where I read out that quote? No. Oh my gosh. Can I share this quote with you?
Yeah, of
I'll send it
course.
to you as well. Because
Please.
I thought, I mean, I shared it in I've done a couple of other vision board workshops, because I felt like it articulated something so incredible about confidence. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm trying to take loads of pictures on my phone, screenshots of stuff. Where is it now? If I can't find it now, I'll find it after and send it to you. But to paraphrase, mm, yeah, it's not there. What day are we on today?
Monday.
Monday, so it would have been Saturday. Oh, it's going to be so annoying now, but never mind. But in a nutshell, it says something around the lines of, to build confidence, it's not about saying affirmations in the mirror. Yeah, I personally believe that is part of it. Yeah,
Mm.
but it went on to say you need concrete evidence which is more factual to demonstrate things about you to you.
Mm.
Yeah. So the
Mm.
reason why I'm bringing it up is because when you think about you in this new area, I need you to hold on to these nuggets of truth
Mm.
that you applied for your first graduate role formally on the same day that you submitted it. They called you for interview, which means that you presented the work and the application in a manner that they were like, oh my gosh, we want to hear more. Then they called you for interview within 2 days and you had a successful interview. No matter the outcome,
Mm.
those are nuggets and they're factual bits of concrete
Mm.
that you have to hold on to, because these things are going to help you raise your levels of confidence in
That's true.
yourself and your ability,
That's true. I
right?
agree. I agree. I seem to be more confident explaining them with my speech. Yeah, I've always been good writing and presenting. And I think I overcompensate that for when it comes to like face to face, like being conversational. So yeah, I need to practice there.
Yeah. Do you think you struggle with being conversational?
Yeah, I'm very introverted. I can be outgoing, uncomfortable. And when we were having a conversation interview, it was okay. When she put me on the spot, I was like, yeah, this is just not my forte. This is not a forte, which that's always been like I've always gotten jobs through people work with me and know me before. That's like they know I can work hard. But when it comes to brand new people on new environment, it's just it's hard for me to get to that point sometimes.
Yeah. Do you, is there anything you're like thinking? So is there like a running stream of thought around what they think, or what you wonder what they're thinking, or whether you like
Yeah.
to, yeah, is there anything you think is quite a consistent thought?
Yeah, I probably overthink it quite a lot, but yeah, I probably do overthink it quite a lot. And then probably like because I went for the interview, then I also saw that they were still advertising it. So it's just probably that bit of rejection as well. It's pretty that probably kicks in the interviews, like the idea of being rejected and being unwanted probably all kicks in and I wanted to say the right thing. But I don't know. Well, it's probably just comes to practice and being like more confident in my work and knowing what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's two things I want to talk about. So one is that's a really strong word about being unwanted, like super
Mm,
strong.
yeah.
Is that what it feels like?
Yeah, like yeah. And I know that I would be the right person for the job in the sense that I have experience in residential. I know like they're looking for CAD. I'm good at CAD. That's my strongest point. But I can't I can't force. I don't want to start my graduate career feeling like I force you to hire me. Like I want to be like mutual. Like you loved me as a candidate. I loved you as a candidate. You see me growing with you. So I don't know. I don't know which way it's gonna go. We'll just have to like I don't know, it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you think it would knock your confidence if they said no?
No, but it'd be like, oh, now I've got to like keep applying. It would just make things easier. It just makes things easier because with the traveling, my timeline is maybe the end of April, start with Vietnam, and then May would be Bali, and then late May, June would be Thailand. So if I get a graduate job in Gold Coast Amen, then I'll go for less time. But if I don't get one, I'll just leave John Lewis and go for more time, if that makes sense. Then when
Yeah.
I come back, other students will have graduated, so hopefully there'll be more graduate jobs anyway.
Okay. That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you, well, obviously with John Lewis, do you get annual leave at John Lewis?
We do, but it's gonna be like 25 days and it's unlikely that they let you take off more than a month.
Yeah. Okay. So you, I wanted to, yeah, because with some companies, they won't let you take annual leave until you've almost earned that time.
Yeah, probably.
So they hate, like, if it works out, let's say two annual leave days per month you've worked.
Yeah,
If you start in March, technically you've only earned 4 annual leave days by the end of April.
I see.
That's
Okay.
something to consider. Every organization has a different policy because they could argue, but hey, if you quit in June, we've given you a holiday and you, does that make sense? So some companies are a lot more comfortable with it, or they'll say, yeah, you can, either take unpaid leave or you can pay back the holiday if you leave, but
Mm.
some are very strict. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've already got it booked in, well, then you just have to figure out what happens.
What happens then? Because yeah, I was gonna. Part of me is like, I'll take it as a holiday, and then I have it to fall back on. I can go back.
Yeah.
But part of me is like, I just need to get a grad job and stop relying on John Lewis. Because I feel like the time I spend on John Lewis, I spend applying for grad jobs. You know, so but then I don't want to be unemployed for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, especially now you started driving, you still want that sort of
Income.
yeah, absolutely. Is it a possibility of reducing your hours at John Lewis? Would you consider that?
So I considered I was supposed to speak to one of the like managers this week about changing my hours. So I either get 2 days in between or just removing a day completely. Which is doable. But yeah, so we'll just see. I'm not sure. I need to decide what how everything's gonna flow in the next 6 months. The next 6 months is kind of very crucial. So yeah, it's kind of very crucial in my life right now. But I need to just
Yeah, yeah. And also, sometimes like you haven't got to make a decision quickly
yeah.
because you managed to do this job interview while still working your current hours at John Lewis. And so, if you do decide that in the next, let's say, month,
Mhm.
you wanted to give it 110% with applications, yeah,
Mhm.
whatever that looked like for you, then you can almost test the water that, okay, yeah, I can do this and still work my hours, or you know what, this is way too much. I'm going to ask to reduce them.
I use them as well because another thing with that I took it as sick leave, so I called in sick for that weekend. That was the yeah. So I was supposed to be in, but I just
Yeah.
called in sick. Yeah, and then I did the work instead.
Okay. Yeah. And again, and although that's okay for that weekend,
Yeah,
ongoing, you don't want to increase your sickness levels because they'll be most likely giving you a reference. Even,
exactly.
even, even though it's not in the industry, it's just about, yeah. And
Yeah,
I know when I've done references to people, they do ask, how many sick days has this person taken?
yeah,
And all of that. So, yeah,
exactly.
I'm going to put down you'll consider working hours with John Lewis and applying. Okay, the other thing I wanted to ask was based on what you were sharing earlier is, about sort of, yeah, engaging with people, conversations. And you said that's something that you need to work on and practice.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like, is that, does that need to be like an intention and a focus, do you think?
I do. I feel like it all comes with confidence. Confidence though. Like I've always had like just my concentration span, my speech in general. It's just as a child, I've always just had these small inklings of. It's not like a new thing that I've just suddenly developed as an adult. I feel like I've always been like this at some kind of extent. But I guess as an adult, I'm trying to unlearn these things, and that's why I kind of liked working at John Lewis because it forces you to talk to people, but at the same time, it drains your energy.
Yeah, and that's the thing with introverts, isn't it? You need to be able to recharge by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't know. I just, yeah, I just get there at some point. We'll see.
Hmm. Someone I know, someone set them a challenge of speaking to a stranger every day to ask them a random question. Oh, hey, do you know which bus goes somewhere? Or, what's the time? And it forced him out of, it forced him out of his comfort zone because he always felt about a way about talking to strangers or talking to people he didn't know, And so sometimes we can intentionally go out of our comfort zone to help us in a particular area,
Okay.
right? So that's something you can consider. The
Yeah.
other thing I was thinking about was it's the whole, so yeah, so we want the prospective employers to like you, to love you, to want to work with you. But if you don't also love them to an extent, well, then,
That's
you
the point.
know,
Yeah.
absolutely. And so you've also maybe sometimes, I don't know if it's like a human thing where we always feel like, oh, I want them to like me. Well, hang on a minute. We should be prioritizing that we like them.
It's true.
Like,
Like, yeah, I agree. Like, it's a nice. Do you know Nina Campbell?
yeah.
It's
Oh,
for
hang
Nina
on.
Campbell.
It's for who?
Nina Campbell.
Oh no, I don't know
She does
Nina Campbell.
fabrics. She's
No,
like
I'm
a
not familiar.
fabric designer and interior. It's quite big, but
That's good.
yeah. But the head of design, just her energy, like I was getting, it's very British, like designs, very classic designs, which I do love and I do appreciate. But I don't know if they saw, but in the back of my head, I was like, can they really see me grow within the company and one day becoming the head of design as well? So I had that in the back of my head as well. But I don't want to think like that. I want to be like, let me be the first black woman then. But in my that she's very John Lewis, like very proper, and I felt like I had to be proper as well, and very. But I don't know. You got to fake it till you make it in this society, to be honest. So it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And well,
Um,
yeah, I think yeah, to some extent, as long as it doesn't detract from you as a person. So if you felt like you had to walk in with a mask on and not be the truest, Kayomi, well, then that's not the right workplace for you. Because there's something around. You can have five people with the same experience, skill set, and expertise, but there's something around an individual culture of a person that
mm,
matches with the culture of an organization, right? So
mm,
think about working for, you know, a big bank versus working for Google.
yeah,
Google, people wear jeans and trainers to the office. They have
mm,
slides in their head office, right? They have
yeah,
they play.
mm,
Whereas you work for, a high-end bank and
mm.
you have to be suited and booted,
Proper.
not everyone's personality or style fits in with those places.
That's true. That's
Uh,
true.
Yeah. And, and
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that. We're all different. I think we're all being made very differently because we have different places that we fit. But
Mm.
that doesn't detract from your professionalism or your skill because you could go in there and design some beautiful things.
Exactly. It's just a bit frustrating 'cause that's where the money is. Like and that's just what it the way the design industry works, like that's just where the money is, unfortunately. Like it's nice to work for small companies that you can be comfortable in, but they won't pay you. So yeah, you just gotta find a balance, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. It
Yeah.
swings and roundabouts. Okay, so if they ring you tomorrow and offer you the job, what
The
will you
second
say?
interview. If
Sorry, if they offer you a second interview, what will you say to this? Or they say to the second interview, what will you say?
I would say yes for the just to know I couldn't just to know what happens, to know that I went through it, whether it's practice, whether it's just to say that I just gave it my all.
Yeah.
And then yeah. I don't think I'm in a position to say no to people right now because I don't really have options. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you do.
Where are they?
Are you homeless? Are you not eating?
uh
We all have options. We all have choices in life, and actually,
yeah.
you always want to make a decision based on that truth that
Mm,
you can choose to say whatever you want because actually it's just not right for you. So, in the same way that you said, I wouldn't want them to feel like they're forced to take me, you shouldn't
mhm,
feel forced to take something either. Yeah. So
mm,
that's one thing to consider. The other thing I was thinking when you were saying about that's where the money is, you've also got future plans that includes setting up on your own, right? And so
yeah.
if you were to take a role like this, okay, fair enough, it may not match you 100% based on just your own style, yeah, or your own values or whatever it is.
Mm,
But this is not, it's not like this is going to be your only job until you
exactly.
retire. And then like you're very entrepreneurial, you've got massive plans in life. And so there's also this element of, I'm going to take a job so I can get everything I need from it, build my
Mm,
portfolio, build my expertise, build my skills, learn more about the industry in this element, and then 2 years, 5 years, whatever time, I'm going to move on, right?
exactly.
So then the
Yeah.
ball is still in your court because some people take a job and they get stuck, or that they have no ambition. That's what I'm not. You're very ambitious. They have no ambition. And
Mm-hmm.
so then it's like whatever the company throws at them, they
You
accept
take it.
because they're always staying there. And so you are in a win-win situation. You
Mhm.
are.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a beautiful place to be in. It's good. Let me tell you, it's good.
Thank you. I just need to apply more so I can have more options as well and not just be relying on one place and one company.
Yeah, absolutely. And the only reason I think that they wouldn't take the job interview down, sorry, the job advert down at this point is because they're still actively recruiting yet. So it could be you and a couple other people going for second interview, but also, again, there's no guarantee that that person may say yes.
Okay.
And so, let's say everyone said no for whatever reason, well, then they're still going to have to recruit again. So, no, they'll always keep a job advert live and active until the candidate has said yes and there's paperwork on the table to verify they are actually starting, right? So it's
Definitely.
nothing personal, it's nothing to do with how you interviewed, why that job is still live.
Okay. Because I not I thought because I went Wednesday, Friday, they created like more posts, and I was like, wow, this industry's really cutthroat. But I felt a bit like insulted in a way. But now I need to understand it's more, it's professionalism. Like it's not personal at all. Like I get it from a business perspective. You need to have options and just rely on one person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Particularly because there's no guarantee that you're going to say yes, and the industry knows that,
it's
right?
true. It's true. And us as interviewees and employees, we should have our own options as well, not just be. We should be applying for the same way they are recruiting people. We should be applying for different places.
Yes,
It's just
absolutely.
one way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you did mention that Manchester was where you wanted to be, and this is London.
I know it's looking. Yeah, it's a very long term. Hopefully soon. Yeah, yeah, hopefully soon. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's more
sorry.
opportunities in Manchester when you're actually. Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry, sorry.
there was a delay in the line, so I feel like I missed a little bit of what you were saying. So you were saying that long term, London wouldn't be where you'd want to stay. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's more opportunity when you're already in Manchester.
No, I was saying, I feel like when you're in Manchester, I feel like it's more opportunity when you're not the junior level. You're
More
now
senior.
like
Um,
you call it. It's not senior, but midweight, or you're just above the junior. There's more um options are open. Yeah, am I back? Should I hotspot? Are we back?
yeah, yeah. Can you hear me and see me? Okay. Yeah, the line's
Yeah,
gone
but
really
it's
bad.
lagging a little bit, so I might try connect to my hotspot.
Okay. But yeah, I did capture what you were saying about when you're more. I want to maybe you're more advanced in your career. Yeah, then there's more options available to you,
Yeah.
which almost sounds like if this option came about, it's viable because or you would decide how long you'd want to stay there. Yeah. Oh no.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the connection better now? I just connected. Oh
No.
no. Hello? Hello? You back?
Hi. Yes.
Okay, let me
Well.
leave.
Okay. Okay.
Hello?
That's better.
Better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The joy of Zoom. Yeah, so we were talking about the option of it can still work because of the time frame.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's all like right now is the like grafting period, and then I'm hoping that in the future it just all makes sense because I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know what's going on right now. There's a vision, but it's literally first like we started the call saying you've had your first this first that. I feel like this is just my first everything right now. Like I'm not really getting any fruits. There's no fruits at the moment.
Were you expecting there to be fruits?
No, but I just want it all to be worth it.
Yeah, but there are already fruits. Do you know?
Yeah.
And again, we can obviously people are very different. But I worked with somebody, and I think they'd been applying for jobs for over a year and had been unsuccessful. And then even when she worked with me, it still took like 3, 4 months for her to get her first interview in her industry. And then she had a second interview and was flown to another country,
Mm,
right? There has to be some
mm,
sentiment of you recognizing that you're doing well at this stage. You've only been applying for like not even a
mm.
month.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. In fact,
Okay.
is it
I
even a
hear that.
month?
That's fine.
Is this your first
Thank
session
you.
in January?
Um, yeah, this is
No.
our second one.
So it's not even been a month,
I
right?
mean,
Do you kind of get the
yeah,
wider context?
yeah, it's been 2 weeks since I last saw you. It's been two.
Okay.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I'm very, very, very hard on myself. I'm very, very hard on myself.
Would you treat your best friend or sibling the same way that you
That's the
treat yourself?
connection gone again.
Oh, I can hear you. It's just slow.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Would you treat your best friend or a sibling the same way that you treat yourself in terms of how hard you are on yourself?
Um, Probably not, but I just have I just know I have expectations of myself, and I see big things for myself in the sense that um part of me wants to not believe that I can do these things, but I want to be able to prove to myself that I can, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I have this big vision, and part of me is like, well, it's quite big. Then part of me is like, why not? Because I feel like I'm starting from the very basics. It's like I have nothing to lose. So I might as well just go for absolute most. If that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah.
But along the journey, your how you view yourself has to be in the best and most positive light.
Yeah.
Because high expectations are great, but if we attach our value and worth to something and we lose that thing,
Mm,
what does it say about how we feel about ourselves? Right?
that's true.
So, for example, let's say you get this incredible graduate role, and then the company decides, whatever, whatever, either they have to downsize or they have to let you go. If we've placed so much worth into you achieving that and we lose that, that
Mm,
could potentially have a very detrimental impact on your own well-being,
that's true. That's
right?
true.
And so your worth and your value are not rooted in the job you have, how much money you make, and even you achieving
Mm,
certain goals. Those should be the cherry on top.
that's true. That's understandable, but I also feel like I don't feel like I need to rely on these companies. I want to use these companies to build what I'm trying to build for that exact
Absolutely.
reason. I don't
Yes.
trust these companies and I don't like begging for promotion, begging for you to see what I'm doing, begging for you to see my hard work. I don't think that's correct. So by hopefully creating my own thing on the side, that would be rewarding itself. But
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
we see it where life takes us.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess I think what's important for me to help you to see is that you just enjoy the journey, right? And like the
Yeah.
whole staying up all night. Yes, on the one hand, we want to be diligent, but there has to be a fine line between diligence and hard work
Yeah,
and kind of just yeah, doing so much that actually you're not okay.
that's
Yeah.
true. That's
I
true.
mean, yeah, life is always changing and evolving, and people always. Some people are going to love you. Some people are not going to be able to stand you, right? in life, in business, in every area. And we always have to make sure that we know how incredible we
Yeah,
are, how amazing our future is going to be, how much
exactly.
talent we have, because we tell ourselves that,
Mm,
right?
that's true.
Because you're the one that put in the application and you're the one that got invited for interview based on your
Mm,
skill set. So whether the company
mm,
say yes or no, that takes away nothing from how amazing that already is. Yeah. But you had a session like
that's
3 weeks
true.
ago,
That's true.
and you've done loads. And one thing I'd love you to really think about is how you celebrate yourself, how you
Mm,
tell yourself well done.
I
I'm
got a Cuban takeaway that was really
yeah,
nice.
that's
Up
nice.
into you. Huh?
That's really nice.
What were you gonna say?
No, but and
Thank you.
no, but I was gonna say, because I think in the last session
Yeah.
I spoke about how some of the things we'll do in coaching are things for you that I want, that hopefully will last you throughout the years. Yeah.
Mm,
Outside of coaching. And so part of that is acknowledging and celebrating, you know what? I've done amazingly well to get an interview, because no one forced them to interview me, right? So celebrating yourself as we go through the journey, because
that's true. I agree.
that's a phenomenal outcome. That we had a session 2 weeks ago. We had things for you to do: update Adobe, enhance your portfolio, start applying for graduate roles. You've done that,
Oh yeah.
and you've gone for interview. Like,
Yeah. So
hello.
what's next? What's next? What's next?
Absolutely. So one of the
Yeah.
things you, I know all the time ago, one thing you spoke about was having like a strategic plan.
Mm.
Did you have a chance to have a look at Monday.com?
Had a quick look, but not intensely. I started with Notion, but I tried to download the Monday app on my phone. It is saying payment not available, so I need to look at, is it a paid app?
Well, when I used it, it was always free. So I'm sure there is a free version, but I'm not sure. And so, but basically, obviously, that is a tool to help almost plan out your projects, or you could just use Excel. Yeah, but it's finding something that's going to work for you. Or some people literally like to have it on the wall as like something very, physical to look at.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
think what you were talking about was having almost a plan for each area, that you know what you're
yeah.
working on, right?
Exactly. Like it's many timelines for each point.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cover very well on timelines.
Sorry, the line cut again. Sorry, say that last bit again.
I work better on timelines.
Okay. All right. So should we draft something in Excel today in the next
Yes.
15 minutes? Let me just get a new workbook opened. Have to I do I'm a bit of a geek. I do like Excel. um
It's not, yeah.
yeah, I think you can do so much with it. Okay, can you see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wonder if it will pull across in order. Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Let's
that's so.
go. Yeah, let's go to December. Okay, so 2023. All right. And so, what I think it would look like is, let's say we talk about your graduate role. We just play around with this. So, graduate role, and then you've got your travel. Yeah. And you're
Mm.
driving. How often are you doing driving?
So my next is on the 5th of February,
Okay.
but ideally I want to push it into once a week. It's just with my rota right now, the best I can do for now is 5th of February. Because
Okay.
yeah, I had to leave this Friday free just in case.
Yeah. Okay. Um. So
Add
you're
the
sorry, and I know you've got your design page and brand, right?
Yeah.
And then we've also got networking for property.
Oh, I joined the networking group as
Which one?
well. It's called Self-Made.
Oh, brilliant.
Um, by Brian. I don't know if you heard of Brian Cole, but he's quite big. But I did a little bit of networking, but I need to actually go to events in person
Yeah,
next month, ideally.
excellent. Okay, so we'll just figure out how if this can work in this way, because also it has to make sense to you. Yeah. So with your graduate role,
Yeah.
in January, I'm just thinking. So we could have a column that says tasks, maybe, and then one that says achievements.
Yeah, achievements and feedback.
Yeah, achievements. Um, okay, so what tasks have you done in? Okay, so yeah, so these are the tasks that we planned for January. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was to for apply for roles. Apply for roles. Also, I think also what was the task? Well, okay, maybe we'll do it as an achievement. Was you? I'm trying to think how we said it. You basically, sorry, my words have just gone from me. So one thing you did so when we met in January, you really set out your personal criteria, yeah, for a grad role, because that helps in the application process, because then you know what you're applying for and you've got your own sense of, okay, this is or isn't acceptable. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Let's just insert loads of columns. So what you could do is either do one sheet per area if it's easier, or
Okay.
yeah, I mean it's just playing around with it, isn't it? But we'll just make a start with the grad role and then you can tweak it as it seems best for you.
Mm.
Okay, so your personal criteria for a grad role, you completed your portfolio, you applied for a job, it's for Kensington role. It's a super nice area in London as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really the buildings are gorgeous, like inspiring.
Yeah. So you
Really
applied
nice.
for Kensington role
Um,
and had an interview. Anything else that you would say you've
um,
achieved in January
I
so far?
network slightly with other designers. It's more I need to do follow up. I need to follow up on what I was on the initial conversations.
So is your task to follow up? Did you say?
Yeah, with other connections that I made. They can be good for freelance work as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because sometimes it is about people sort of personally saying, "Hey, I've heard about this and I thought you'd be perfect."
Yeah.
Those sorts of things as well. Excellent. So in not 3 weeks, you've done so much.
Um, thank
Yeah. So this is something that, like I said, I'm gonna insist you get better at,
you.
which is acknowledging your successes. So I want to put that in driving actually, um, because again, first driving lesson, that's huge. You know how
Yeah.
many people want to learn to drive, and it's like 6 months later, oh yeah, I want to learn to drive. You know, yeah. So it's great.
Thank you. I need to get saving targets as well if I want to go traveling. That reminds me.
Yeah. So do you have a savings plan already?
I do like I do and I don't. I just like to save to the nearest naught. That's just the way I've always been since I was younger. But I need
Yeah.
to actually put like intentionally put aside money instead of just say spending savings. It's just not good. I need to
Yeah,
be more intentional.
yeah. I think something really simple is literally just having a. Do you get paid on the same date every month?
Yeah, I think I'll get paid on 25th
So then on the
usually.
26th, you set up a direct debit for a certain amount to go into a savings account. That's one way
Yeah.
of doing it.
Mm.
Um, or else you work backwards to say, hey, by April, I want to have saved up this X amount of money, and you work backwards for how much you have to save up in order to achieve that specific target.
Yeah, that makes sense. Can you add finance under and in my own time I'll
Yeah.
write down a plan to do that.
I feel like this next 6 months is you really getting your life together.
Yeah.
It's good. It's
And
really,
with
really good.
driving, thank you. And with driving also my theory, I need to my instructor said it's better to do it early
Yeah.
to make it easier.
So book theory, and also I guess have you got like the app and stuff to practice?
Yeah, I got 4 in 1. I didn't get a second one, so I got
Yeah.
4 in 1. Hopefully it's gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I'm sure I know one of the guys that actually designed that. Yeah, it was just like he used to be a driving instructor. I think it was that same one. And yeah, he did this app for people to take tests, practice tests online and to learn
Okay.
and stuff. So, okay, excellent. All right. And so, yeah, when we started this, so obviously you can continue um, with completing this. Achievements, I want you to be super detailed because like in a moment where you may feel like, oh my gosh, what have I got to show for my time? This is the evidence, right? This is what is then going to re inspire you that, oh my gosh, look how much I've achieved. I mean, to be honest with you, on my personal target for clients is 80% of them of their goals met every month. Because very rarely does everybody meet all of their goals just because life happens and or they're just struggling. So you've come back and you've exceeded your goals, and that's phenomenal,
Thank
but
you.
yet there's still this little gap, which is okay, where you're not yet able to fully celebrate the journey.
Yeah.
And so for you to detail the tasks plus achievements, I think will be really, really helpful. So we see in black and white, okay, yeah, this is exactly that I'm on track, right?
And
And I know where I'm going.
I like that. Okay. Okay. And
Yeah.
can we set some targets for next session?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So because I had penciled out well February dates, I know because normally on a Wednesday. Did you say Wednesday in the day isn't good for you?
Every other Wednesday I work. Let me check my calendar. Did I work last Wednesday? I didn't work last. So I'm off this Wednesday. I'm off next Wednesday.
Which is the first.
Um, yes.
Yeah. So the earliest time
Yes,
so I
it's the
could
first
do,
next Wednesday. Is that two
yeah.
weeks time?
Yeah, well, it would have been. So, but it would be good if we keep on schedule, even though this is a few days later. Um, yeah. So, um,
Hmm.
I
Okay,
could
that
do
works.
like, yeah, I could do 11 on a Wednesday morning.
11 Wednesday, yeah, it works
How does that
nicely. Let me write
sound?
that down.
Okay,
Yeah, that works nicely. Sorry, is it
brilliant.
lagging?
It's fine. It's one of those, isn't it? So 11 on Wednesday the first, and then 2 weeks after that. Then, so on the Wednesday the 15th, should we do the same time?
Yeah, that works nicely as well. Let me check.
Brilliant,
That's yeah, I've nothing planned for that day, so that works nicely.
fantastic. Because then it's in the diary and it's all sorted. Okay.
But my main targets for Wednesday the first would be I want to have booked my whether it's the flight for Vietnam, flight for Bali, one flight is booked. Had more interviews in God's Grace Amen, more applications, of course.
Okay. Do you want to put a number to that, or just put more job applications? What for you would feel reasonable?
Um,
Or time invested in it?
Successful,
Oh, it's lagging.
yeah, but all like measured by success in how many interviews I've had. I feel like,
Yeah.
can you hear me now?
Okay. Yeah. So we're going to apply for roles.
But measure it by success by how many interviews I've had. So hopefully at least two more interviews by then. Um, and that's driving, booked my theory test,
Yeah.
and
Also, do you
yeah,
want to spend some time developing your strategic plan?
yeah, and
Yeah.
develop my shit plan. I agree.
Excellent.
Yeah, and followed up, and that's the last one. I feel like everything else can happen naturally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Excellent. So good. Really, really good. And so it's almost, I think
Thank
it worked out
you.
well that you spent, September to December just working and doing other stuff, because now your focus is there and you're just ready to move forward and you're doing it.
And getting it done. Thank you.
You're getting it done. Absolutely.
Yeah, I
You
appreciate
are. Yeah, yeah, you're doing so well. You're doing really, really well.
it. Thank
So
you.
yeah, I'm so pleased. Oh,
Thank you. I appreciate the support. Oh, this is
you're
really
very
sad.
welcome. I know the
Do you
line.
know?
It's yeah,
But no,
absolutely.
yeah, please email the form to me as well, and I'll go
Yeah,
through that.
yeah, I'll do that as soon as I finish, and also I'll send you the YouTube link as well, so you can have this to look back on. But yeah, and obviously if there's anything in between, I'll let me know. Shall I still message you on the Friday to see that you've made progress? Is that helpful?
How do we do it? Yeah, can you message me next Wednesday, please?
So isn't next Wednesday the first?
Oh, it's next Wednesday the first.
A week
Oh, I
on Wednesday.
see what you mean. Next Wednesday is the first. Okay, Friday and yeah, Friday, yes, please.
Yep.
In the evening, then I would have known if I had the interview or not.
Okay. All right, that's absolutely fine. Let me just put that in my calendar. Um, Brilliant. Yep. We aim high and we do our very best. And remember, once we've done our best, we're happy with that, right? Oh, can you hear me?
Mm, exactly. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks so
Yeah.
much.
Oh, bless you. You're so welcome.
Yeah,
Have a
I
great
heard
night.
everything you said. I really
Oh, okay.
thank
Awesome.
you.
All right. Bless you. Well done for
You
today.
too. I'll speak to you
Yeah. Take
soon.
care. Bye.
You too. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.